Okay, B'siyata Dishmaya, we are here in Shar HaYichud, continuing in our series on holy confidence. Darkecha bevadai. We are up to the fourth page, the fourth little parak, fourth footnote, all in the same place. B'zat Hashem. So we talked about holy confidence, and we talked about how essentially knowing that what I'm doing is the right thing to do, and knowing the importance of what it is, will give me all of the power I need to get through the challenges and the tests and the work that I am being sent to do by Hashem. And the thing that would prevent me from doing that is all the doubts. Having a doubt of how important it is what I'm doing, having a doubt of how able I am to do it, that Hashem give me all the power that I need to do it. And essentially, everything comes down to this. All of our Avodat Hashem, this idea of holy confidence encompasses everything. When a person really knows the truth until the end, and he understands the importance of his actions, then he has the ability to push forward and to make the strides that he needs to go, to keep pushing forward and to do, right? To be persistent in what it is that he has to do. And the root of this idea of vada'ut, of confidence, is one of the powers of the neshama. Because the Jewish soul recognizes with clarity what's above the intellect, and knows the inner aspects of this world, and knows what's the purpose of everything. Like David HaMelech says, "V'nafshi yodat me'od." My nefesh knows very well. Right? My soul knows what's up. But sometimes the neshama gets covered up, and a person is not able to hear the scream and the cry of the neshama that is asking him to do the proper thing, the straight thing in life. And then he starts to fall down into doubts, and all of that comes from doing too many calculations, right? Cheshbonot rabim asher chishvu bnei adam. The many different calculations that humans make. Therefore, you have to stand strongly with holy confidence, to hold on to the clarity of the truth of Hashem, and to not give the Yetzer Hara the ability to weaken us and to weaken our consciousness and our mind. And it's known what the rabbi said, that the power of the Yetzer Hara to put a safek, to put in a little doubt, and by way of that, we get weak, we get soft. And they say that Amalek, right? Amalek, this evil nation that we have to destroy in the world, is the gematria, the same numerical value of safek, right? 240. 240 is gematria Amalek. It's also gematria Safek. It's also the gematria for dollar. Right? These things that put doubts in our mind. And we have to ask the question, if the job of Amalek is just to put a little doubt, so then why do we have to go on such a war? Amalek is the biggest enemy that we have, and we have to completely annihilate them and destroy them. But all they're doing is putting a doubt. You would think that a person that's coming to make you an atheist, to remove you from your Avodat Hashem completely, to tell you to do negative things, to outright sin, you'd think that would be the biggest enemy. You'd think that would be the worst person, right? But no, it's Amalek. Why? Because the power of Amalek, the power of this doubt that it puts inside of you, it weakens everything. It weakens your holy confidence. It weakens your certainty in the holy things that you're doing. And now you're not able to do anything. The inner strength of a person, right? His certainty, the fact that I'm here to do an important thing and I'm able to do it and it's the right thing to do. Once that gets weakened, then everything gets weakened. Right? It's this prevention. It just like extinguishes the fire inside of us. To do a sin outright, okay, I could do a sin and come back if I have a connection to Hashem. Not that I should do that, but I could. I could fall and get right back up. But when I start to have doubts in all of my actions, in all of the importance of everything that's going on, to have a doubt in the importance of what Hashem sent me here for, then I start to lose it. And although this idea of holy confidence affects everything in our Avodat Hashem, it mainly shows up in three different ways. The first thing is to hold on to emunah and the truth of Hashem when I'm dealing with mundane things. When I go to business, when I'm taking out the garbage, when I'm giving my kids a bath at night, putting them to sleep, is Hashem there too? Is God that created the whole entire world and watching over everything, is His truth and His unity also found in the hard times? Or is it only in the synagogue? Is it only in the spiritual things? Right? So the first things first, when you have holy confidence, is that you know Hashem. If Hashem is one and He's true, that means He's in every single place of my life, every facet of my life, everything, the holy and the mundane. The second thing that holy confidence mainly affects is our recognition of the love that Hashem has for every single Jew. How much infinite love Hashem has for each one of us, how much He's completely thrilled when we come to talk to Him and connect to Him and do any mitzvah, any action in the world. And three, the last thing, is a recognition that Hashem is always with us. Even when there's concealments, even when it seems like the light is hiding, it's being hidden from us, we can't see it, we don't have clarity, to know at that moment, with holy confidence, Hashem is here no matter what. No matter how I acted, no matter whether I have light or not, Hashem is 100% here. And this is the way that all the tzaddikim went down. And their success came from the fact that they had full belief, full emunah in the strength of the yichud of Hashem, the oneness of Hashem, that Hashem could do anything, Hashem is beyond any limitations. They also had complete clarity in how much Hashem loves each and every single soul from Am Yisrael, and how important every single thought, speech, and action we have connected to Hashem is for Him. And when it appeared to the tzaddikim like everything was falling, like there was gzerot, like the deen was sealed and there was decrees in the world, they never left their clear emunah in Hashem that He always loves us and He will never abandon us, He will never leave us. And this is all hinted to in the pasuk, the Rashi Tevot of the pasuk that we say every morning in Shacharit, Vayvarech David et Adonai. And David blessed God. Vayvarech David et Adonai is a Rashi Tevot, Vadai, certainly. כי הכוח של דוד המלך לעמוד בכל הרדיפות והמשברים שעברו עליו כנודע, the power of David המלך to go through all of the things that he went through, all of the tests, all of the pursuance, all of the enemies from within and from outside, in his own being, in his own family, his own children, his own parents, to all the enemies and the Philistines and Goliath and everything else, right? Everybody was around him, everyone was coming against him. Hashem played with him, lights on, lights off, lights on, and lights off. And what did he do? He held on to this holy confidence. He held on to this vada'ut d'kedusha, and he knew that Hashem was with him always. And that's the only true path. And now, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to go a little bit deeper. We have to believe with truth in Hashem, the full truth of Hashem. The head of all this idea of holy confidence is to live our life with strong emunah in Hashem, to live out His reality and His yichud, His oneness, in every way possible. With all of our might, with all of His might. Meaning to believe in the strength of Hashem and the truth of Hashem, ad asof, until the end, until the end of our being. And to know and to recognize and to be aware that only Hashem is the true truth in the world, and the whole entire world is just a revelation of His lights, and Hashem is doing everything, and there is no power, true power, separate from Hashem at all. Nothing could exist by itself, nothing could act separate from the commands and the instructions of Hashem. And then when a person lives this way, with this truth, and the true connection to their Creator, on a level of Ein Od Milvado, there's nothing besides Hashem, then Rak Torato v'Darko Hem Hatov, then only His Torah, only His path of keeping halacha, that could only be the good thing. The person knows that Hashem is ruling over everything and Hashem can be found everywhere. So then you need Torah and you need halacha to help you guide yourself through that path of getting closer and not getting startled from all of the concealments of this world. And then you'll feel how important everything is that you're doing, how important every tefillah is, how important every bracha is, how important every smile to another Jew is. And then you'll have the power and the strength to do whatever it is that you need to do, and also not to do whatever you're not meant to do. And by way of this strength, a person will be able to stand himself and his whole entire house, everything around him, all of those dependent on him, in a proper way. Because when a person has a clarity of the truth, that this is the only good in the world, being connected to Hashem, then his soul will be able to hold on to that strength. It's a knowledge that I have to know this in my head, and then it will be given birth to in my heart, which will come out in my actions. And then you'll be able to merit to what's taught in Divrei Yamim. It says there, V'yigba libo b'Darkecha, that his heart was lifted in the ways of Hashem. Right? The Baal Shem Tov says where there's every negative trait, has a root in holiness. So where is pride rooted in? Where is ego rooted in? When you need a little push to know that you're doing the right thing, pump your chest up in the ways of Hashem. Meaning, be proud of yourself that you're connecting to Hashem, you're doing the right thing, right? There you're allowed to be prideful. Not that, oh, look at me, I'm doing this. No. I know what I'm doing. I know this is the right thing. Lift your heart up, meaning pump your chest out, but in the ways of Hashem. And not because you're so cool and you're so amazing that you're doing it, because the thing is so right to do, and you're so certain that it's the right thing to do. To walk with the truth within this world. Like David said, Adabera I will talk about your testimonies, meaning I'll talk divrei Torah, I'll talk about the truth of Hashem in front of kings, and I won't be embarrassed. I'm a king, they're a king, we're all this, but they, in lust, they're engaged in this world, they don't know of God, they don't act properly. I'm not embarrassed to tell them that I don't do what they do, that I don't act like they act, like I don't behave the way that they behave in this world. I'm going to talk about your Torah, I'm going to tell the truth, and I don't care what they have to say. The second that a person knows the importance of his actions and how true they are, how important they are, he will not be embarrassed by anybody that doesn't understand that. Right? When sometimes we talk about things and we live certain things out and we see little kids looking at us and they're like, oh, you're so embarrassing, you're so awkward. It is like, if only you knew. If only you knew. Right? I know things, I'm not embarrassed because I know. I was your age too and I'm older. I'm not embarrassed to live my life in front of you. You can think whatever you think. Skibbity bibbity, whatever they want to say, all these different words they're coming up with. Right? We're okay, we're all okay. We're not embarrassed at all. So the more that a person finds these gems spread out in the street and he recognizes the importance of their actions, for sure he'll be able to gather them inside the middle of the street, in the middle of the street. Even though there's people around him that won't understand, right? All of a sudden you're walking down the street and you know diamonds and you see this dirty rock and you can tell it's a diamond. For everybody else it looks like coal. Would you be embarrassed to get dirty and to get your suit and your hands dirty, picking up, fighting in the mud or the opening of the sewage to get this precious gem out? Would you be embarrassed? Would you care if anybody looked at you funny while you're digging in dirt and mud to pull out a gem that's worth a couple $1,000? So what if it's a mitzvah that has infinite reward? When you know it's a gem, you could care less what people say in the middle of the street. Meaning, you could care less what people say in life.
You might be embarrassed, but you don't care about it.
No, you wouldn't be embarrassed. No, if you don't care, if you know what you're doing, if you know right now, me getting dirty for 15 minutes is going to get me $25,000, and you have to bend over in the middle of the street and tear up your suit and get on your knees and dig and get dirty, but you're about to get $25,000. And everybody else is looking at you digging in dirt in the middle of Manhattan. Are you actually embarrassed if you know what you're doing? You're already on your knees in the middle of the city getting dirty. You're doing it.
Same people who do things that might be embarrassing.
So if you live in the middle of our generation and you're in the city and you have friends around you that are Jews that don't want to make brachas before they drink something, they don't wear a kippah, they don't want to wear tzitzit, they think it's okay to touch girls, to do whatever it is, and you say, no, sorry, I don't do that. You're going to feel embarrassed. If you don't believe in what you're doing, it's just you're doing it because it's the right thing to do, but you don't believe in it, so then you'll probably get embarrassed. But if you believe until the end with holy certainty that this is the right thing to do no matter what, you will not be embarrassed. You won't care for a second what they think about you. Because I'm doing the right thing by Hashem. And I'm certain that that's more important than what anybody thinks or how anybody looks at me. As long as I'm not being a fool or a clown, I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing it in a holy way, with the right intentions, I don't care what anybody thinks. It doesn't even cross the mind. I care what Hashem thinks, and that's why I'm doing this thing. I know Hashem's here. Hashem's here in the mundane things, He's here in the holy things, He's here no matter what, He loves me and He loves everything I'm doing. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about Joe and what his opinion is on my actions. When the truth is clear to a person, so then he has the power and he has the desire to do it. And people cannot prevent him at that point. When a Jew has emunah in the righteousness and the true path of Hashem, and he knows that that's the only true path in life. Everyone has their path and I can't judge anybody else, but for me I've come to a level of clarity that I know Torah and mitzvot and halacha and tefillah is above everything. Living emunah and not letting anything block my emunah and only increasing my emunah, only increasing my God consciousness. So then he knows that I can only connect to things that are good and align with this, and everything else would be a lie. Everything else would be covering up that. Anything else is something bad that I don't want in my life. Even if it's not inherently bad. But if it's bad for me and my connection to Hashem, then it's bad and I don't want to be connected to it. Drinking, for example. It could be bad for a person and it could be good for another person. You have to know yourself. You have to be aware of yourself and where you are. Then you'll be able to merit to influence others. When you know the truth and you live it, and you don't care about anybody else, what they think about you, then you'll be able to help others. Ki adam sheyesh lo vadaut, a person who has certainty, so things come out of his heart with certainty. They're strong words come out because he knows, he's talking from the depth of the inner aspects of his neshama that knows the truth and clarity, and then his words will be able to have that effect on other people because he's coming from a place of alignment, not from a place of trying to sell something that he doesn't actually live by. That he doesn't actually, or at least doesn't believe in until the end. Like it says, Vayvarech David et Adonai, right? That was Vadai, that was certainty. David blessed Hashem, that's the acronym for certainty, right? What does it say right after that in the Siddur? David blessed Hashem, where? Le'enei kol ha'kahal, in front of the eyes of all of the congregation. Where was he certain? Where did he give a bracha to Hashem? Where did he bless Hashem? In front of the whole entire world. In front of the eyes of everybody. But when? What comes first? Vadai. First comes the acronym of certainty. Only then can you step in front of everybody else.
Wild in front of our religion.
Right? And his wife embarrassed him and he said, I don't care. He doesn't care. I know what I'm doing. Right? But he gave room, if you give room, to other sides, other opinions. Not that this doesn't mean that you negate other people, meaning in your own head. Maybe like this, maybe like that, right? Then even if you act the right way, you won't be able to merit other people to walk in the way of truth. For example, people say like, we have to accept Christianity in the world. No, I can see how Christianity by Hashem had a plan to take people away from being evil, pagan, crazy people, and to toning that down to praying to some dead Jewish man, right? I can understand how Hashem had a process of bringing 2 billion people out of horrible traditions into less horrible traditions. But as a Jew, I can accept Christianity in the world? Never. Why? Because I'm certain 100% that Hashem wants for all the human beings in the world to only connect to Him and to not pray to any human being, to any star, to any cross, to any rock. That's for sure, right? That certainty, that allows me to help other people get on that path. Because the second I say, no, my path is like, I believe it's the truth, but other paths are valid as well. So then how could I ever bring anybody to, like, why? If there's room for other places, then why would I connect to your path? Right? Again, we're not saying now to fight other people and to trash other people, no. But in your heart, you have to know, if Hashem is true and the Torah is true, so then nothing else is true. There's only that. There's only one true path. My goal is to connect to that as much as I can. When I'm certain of that and I'm living it, and I know it, I believe it to the end, then I can help other people. For example, a Jew who wants to separate himself from smartphones and internet and all these other things. It's not enough to separate himself alone. If he believes in it until the end, and he recognizes that these things are dangerous and they pollute the air, right? So then he wants to save the whole entire world from this. And we see this, right? I'm not one of these people. I'm on Instagram, I'm on all these other places, on YouTube. But you see the people that are anti-internet and they believe in that it's how bad it is. They talk about it in every moment. They tell the whole entire world about it. They'll even walk inside the cities of Jerusalem and Tzfat with speakers saying internet, happy lives without internet and smartphones, happy lives. Why are they doing it? Where does it come that they're able to go out into the world and walk around like that and be embarrassed? It's embarrassing to walk like that, that's for sure, right? If you're not believing in it to the end, you would be embarrassed to walk around like that. But they're not embarrassed. They think they're doing Kiddush Hashem. And it could be that they're doing a big Kiddush Hashem. They believe in a holy thing. They believe in something that they're trying to remove klipa, they're trying to remove concealments in this world. And they believe it until the end, that they're willing to go protest and to speak that truth out into the street. Amen. Last little bit here. We have to believe that Hashem loves every one of us. Another thing that confuses us is this confusion, this feeling like, yeah, it's true, and that's what you need to do, and for sure it's very important, but am I able to do that? Is it right for me? Am I on that level? Were they talking to me when they said that everybody needs to get to Dveikud and that everybody needs to be a tzaddik and everybody can do these holy things? Were they talking about me or just the holy people? Who am I? I'm a small person. Everything I'm doing is far, 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 far away from perfection. Here's where we have to go into a whole nother level of emunah. And that's an emunah in Hashem, that He created me with a goal. And He has a very good plan for me. And Hashem is walking me down that path like a father leading his son through life. And I have to look at Hashem with the proper outlook, that Hashem is a merciful Father that only wants for my good, and He's happy with me like a father and a mother would be happy with their child. And the whole entire Torah and all of the mitzvot are only here to do good for me, to benefit me, and to bring me to a life of more truth, a good life, a really good life, a truthfully good life. To merit to live with dveikut from a place of kirvat Elohim li tov, being close to God, for me that's good, that's what I want. And when a person has that perspective of Hashem, then a person's able to go into feeling happy with their portion, being okay with what they're going through, realizing that the situation they're in right now is part of a bigger plan that's super good, and it's amazing, and if only I knew how good it was, I would pick it myself. To appreciate every action that I do, everything that I stop myself from doing when I wasn't meant to do it. To be happy with my avodat Hashem, with my actions in this world. And when you do it with all of your might, according to the will that you have inside of you, to the strength that you have inside of you, according to the talents that you were blessed with, to know with holy certainty the importance and how precious everything is that I'm doing in front of Hashem, and that Hashem is asking every single one of us, Na b'ni libcha li, my son, give me your heart. Give me your heart. And when a Jew holds importance to all of his actions and understands how important they are, so then he'll have the desire and the fire he needs to do the avodat Hashem and to be happy, truthfully happy in every single finer detail. And anytime you overcome any challenge, anytime you don't give in to the test, you'll feel happier, you feel more fulfilled, you get more and more strength to know you're doing the right thing. Zat Hashem. I'm going to stop here for now.